Hi, this is Andy. I'm from Surplus for Business, and you caught me in the middle of eBay Open, and that's the topic for today. Annette and I were following the segments. It's about halfway through the program right now. We're about 1.5 days in. We got another day and a half. So let's take a break and let's talk about today's topic, eBay Open. Okay, I got a lot of emotions going on right now with eBay Open. I would say that my expectations are extremely high because I feel like I'm the customer. The the problem with eBay is a middleman. They're in between the true customer, the end customer, and they're the selling platform. They're my tool to get to that customer. So my expectation is, I would say, extremely high. So when I want to give you the summary of eBay Open, I want to give you a truthful summary of what my expectations are and what our company's expectations are, and then where they succeed, where they, let's say, fall down on it. So I took some notes. One is tools. I mean, they are giving us some great tools. You have to utilize those tools to be successful. So big thing change is 12 to 24 pictures. Don't know the facts behind it. Don't know the more specifics about it. Do we have to pay for it? In the beginning, when we had pictures, we had to pay for more extra pictures. So I don't know if they're going to charge us more. But the downside of that is some of the tools that they're offering are only for very, very specific markets. And one is the videos that take a video of an image of a shoe and then makes it three-dimensional, and you can, like a tutorial, you can spin it around, you can look at it at different angles. That's only going to be for luxurious items, high-end watches, shoes, but that's not going to be for the general public. Then another tool that they're offering is, like for eBay Motors, is fitment. So they can tell you all the parts that belong on that car, and then if that model number that you're looking at can go on your car. Those are awesome tools. And I think, you know, again, I'm small fish. I sell in the hundreds of thousands. The eBay Motors is in the billions, and that market is by far the largest market and then trading cards is the next biggest market. So that's where their customers are, let's say, getting the most attention from a selling standpoint because they make up the largest amount of sales. So I get that part. I understand that, for what we sell, it's very, very small. But the next point was buyers groups. This is something I have to get very deep into. Buyers groups, now you can learn about your customers better and what they're looking for and what they're after by these market groups. There's no solicitation. They're coming freely, asking for specific items and where to get them, and then you can jump in and say, hey, check out my store, and here's where you can get it, blah, blah, blah. Also part of buyers groups are the coupons. You can send coupons to those people who are looking in their shopping carts for those particular products, and then kind of draw them to your stores. Those are all things I need to take a look at and utilize those tools better than I have before. But what I alluded to before, the big picture is I want data. So the data they can't share are the things that can go to their competitors. For instance, that buy it now versus auctions. If they share that information, then their competitors would know that information. I would like to see a signed confidentiality agreement. I'm a true eBayer. I'm part of the system. Can we get that data within the system and then sign all the appropriate documentation to get that? I think that the difference between this platform and all other platforms is eyes on the customer. We don't get that clear data of the customer. They have the data, it's just we can't see that. And that's something, again, my high expectation is I would love to see that. Another point was Terapeak. Terapeak's an amazing tool. It tells you all that data, but in the past, it's basically sold comps on a grander scale. You can look at a year back and drive all your data research up to a year's back on particular products. Very critical for my business because our business is one-on-one. We only sell one-off items. And because of that, I want to find that one that sold maybe a year ago or 6 months to 8 months ago. So that's where I would say the data is coming in drips and drops in the right format. Also, a lot of the format was very canned. You were seeing me read off script. Well, their data was very canned. It was all pre-recorded. It was just basically video after video, and there was no interaction. I love conferences where there's interaction. It gives immediate response to the presentation of what is being looked for, what is being asked for. And so in this case, it's just a one-dimensional presentation, and you can't get that instant feedback. Now there was chat rooms, but the chat rooms on the side were just people saying, "Hey, how you doing, Jim? How you doing, Jim?" It's like that's all there was. There was no really interaction with the presenter and the customer, which is the eBay seller. So that's another point that I just didn't like. There's still a lot more we got to cover. There's still a lot more that I'm interested in. The networking also is a little bit more cumbersome because it's it's virtual. Everything's been virtual. So we're doing like a Zoom call, 6 figures in a conversation. Anyone that doesn't get inside those 6 boxes doesn't get to present. So I got on there a couple times. I was a presenter a couple times, so that was good. Got our face in front of a bunch of other sellers, but I would like that more smaller network of local buyers, sellers that in the area that we can get direct feedback and really know what you're looking for from a YouTube perspective on, next generation videos, and then also what we should be doing as sellers. So yeah, please drop a note below, tell us what you're looking for, and we want that interaction and feedback so that we can, basically tailor our message to what the customer is looking for. You are our customer. So the other thing is we're doing live streams. That also would be a good time. Drop in questions that we're going to need to pose on those live streams and answer those questions specifically. We want to have more that, we live in a virtual world right now with COVID, really drove that, but I need that personal interaction. And so let's have that personal interaction. And then also, if you are local in the Greensboro area, hey, let's make a small little group. Let's get together, have a beer, and talk about what's happening in the world of reselling. So that would be the ideal situation that I'd like to see. Okay, back to eBay Open. So eBay Open's been going on for a while. This is its 5th year as a virtual event. COVID started it, but I think 1 year prior to that was the first year they actually did the virtual event. They do have 3 face-to-face events in New York, Austin, and LA. Very select group, and that's another little one of my little gripes is that, again, where their money is coming from is eBay Motors. It's coming from the luxury brands, which is the tennis shoes and luxury watches and baseball cards. Those are the top categories that are driving revenue for eBay. Everything below that falls in smaller segregation. So when people are giving speeches, it's always about those topics. And so what I'd like to see is the more broader approach, because the base of eBay was built on the average seller. It started as Pez dispensers, and that's where the beginnings were. And in the beginning, it was open. It was called eBay Live, and it was in person. And so my wife attended that. At the first one was, I think she saw it in 1998, and participated in that. And she loved it. Just absolutely came back with tons of information and tons of networking and contribution direct from eBay. And so the virtual aspect is a little bit raw still, and it needs to come more interactive. So I hope that to come in the near future. And I think that's it for now. What I'll do is I'll do a summary at the end, see if my opinions have changed at all, and talk about some more topics that they covered in the future. So again, this is Andy from Surplus for Business. Thanks for watching. Really appreciate your support. Appreciate it more if you do a little like and subscribe. And then we'll give a follow-up to this in a future video on the last day and a half summary of